All right, well, here we are, another Tuesday morning, Hotel Barracuda, Paddock Expat Clubs, and Ron Cartier again. And as always, it's my privilege to introduce our speaker to you today, Thomas Bachman. Is that right?
That's correct.
Thomas, would you like to say hello to everybody?
I just want to say, everybody, hello in the free world.
Actually, it's interesting. I've known Tom for, notice I called him Tom, not Thomas. And I've known Tom for a long time. He's part of the 80s Warriors, and we play a lot of sports together. And I never realised, Tom, I've got to tell you, that you were the speaker, right? Because it was just Thomas Bachman, you know. Yeah. And so when you turned up this morning and this, oh, bloody hell, it's Thomas, you're a US Air Force captain. That was a surprise, I'll tell you now.
Well, I don't drag out all my stuff from the closet.
No, but it's good, mate, very good, you know. But that's one of the things that's good about Patty and the expat community. You never know people's background, so it was a surprise. But anyway, congratulations, combat pilot and navigator, is that right?
Yes.
And you started off that you spent 11 years in the military. Would you just like to?
Yeah, I started off as a B-52 navigator, and my first assignment was on Guam.
Okay.
We had a nuclear as well as a conventional mission role.
Interesting.
So I had to wear a couple of hats, if you will.
So that's where you were stationed in Guam.
I was stationed in Guam with the B-52s, and went on to pilot training, and then ended up in South Dakota at Ellsworth Air Force.
But you start off with a very interesting film or movie or video with regards to the B-52. Would you like just to talk a little bit about the B-52 and what it is and how important it is? And very interesting, you know.
B-52 is part of the triad. Along with the submarines, SLBM, the missiles or ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, and then the manned bombers. The advantage of the manned bombers is basically they can be recalled after they launch and go to war. It's like, after a second thought, we shouldn't go.
Okay, so there's like a safety.
It's a safety
switch.
feature.
Yeah, bloody good, eh?
Yeah.
And that's important, okay. And then I liked it when you spoke about your mission as a navigator. What was your mission?
Well, as a young second lieutenant, my job was to navigate the airplane to the destination.
Interesting.
And the destination could be over the target area where basically my time control was plus or minus 3 seconds either side of the time. Yeah, if you're late, the friendly people might be going through. If you're early, the friendly people might be going through. So it's a very disciplined, strict time. Also to assist the radar bombardier to basically help him with the weapon system and decode the nuclear message if that were to happen.
And you showed us exactly where you two were stationed, at the bottom in this compartment somewhere.
Right.
But fascinating.
Yeah, and what's unique about the B-52 is that it's one of the few, if not the only airplane that has ejection seats that go down.
Hey, you mentioned that, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so it's a very tricky thing. If there is an emergency, we pray that we have friends as pilots upstairs so they'll pull up and give us, because 250 feet for safety for one swing is either a cheap burial or a flight
you mentioned that. Thank you for bringing that up. Really good. And then another little thing, got nothing to do with it, but you mentioned the phrase wrinkled skin, and I sat up because obviously at my age it was relevant. But talk about the wrinkled skin bit.
Right. For a novice looking at the skin of the B-52, you'd probably question the engineering because there are all these wrinkles.
Interesting.
But keep in mind that it's a high altitude bomber as well as a low altitude. So when they get to high altitude, because of the air density and expansion, it'll fill out. So hopefully with these little wrinkles, I will fill out with age too.
You don't want to fill out too much. Okay. And then because you showed that, I'll call it your compartment or your office or where your working room, it was enclosed, and then you mentioned you got tired of no window seats.
Yes. The crew station, we would fly 8 to 10 hours, almost like going into the closet of your house.
Yes.
The only thing to the outside world was 2 TV monitors.
Saw that, yeah.
And they have cameras out in front of the airplane so that we can view And so it's not the most glamorous and comfortable job.
No, I agree.
And so I put in my time, as they say, and was fortunate to be picked to go to pilot training after that.
You picked or you volunteered?
I volunteered, but it's very competitive. As I was told, there were probably 10,000 applicants.
Yeah.
And only 500 of which were selected on my particular year.
Interesting. And as a result of your pilot training and whatever qualifying, I'm probably using the wrong words, you got a double rating, is that right?
Yes. So it obviously cost the military and government a substantial amount of money to train a qualified B-52
Mate,
navigator.
not interrupting, but I was surprised at the amount you mentioned.
Yeah, it's approximately $700,000 back in 1986. So they want to get all that training out of you.
Yes.
So you're typically, ankle shackled to that job for your career. But because of my good endorsements, because of good job performance,
Hey, fantastic.
I was able to compete, and I was selected by a board to go to pilot training.
Interesting. And you became a qualified pilot?
Yes, I'm a qualified pilot. I actually still have my commercial pilot license.
Brilliant, mate, really. A total surprise for me, I'll be truthful, okay? Because you're very unassuming, yeah? Apart from when you swear when I beat you at something.
Yeah, of course.
All right, but and again, you mentioned the awards. You got certain awards, is that right? Because of
so as a pilot in Desert Storm during the campaign, shock and awe under Schwarzkopf, we did a lot of special ops. My participation in refueling a lot of the aircraft.
Interesting.
I was awarded 2 air medals for my time in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So that was within your 9-year contract that you got.
It was part of my commitment. Yes.
Yeah. Really impressive, really. So look, we haven't got a lot of time, and we'll probably get you back again because it was interesting. But anything you would like to say to anybody that's watching, not necessarily of our age, but young people that are just going out somewhere, have got a dream, would love to be a pilot. Just any words of advice?
Well, I never, even though my father was a military man for 20 years, I was the typical rebuttal or rejected the military, getting hair cut short, etc. But I did go into the military. I took advantage of the opportunities.
Interesting.
And I made the best of it. And what I would say is always pursue education, always pursue training. You can't put a price tag on it.
It's true, mate.
And as long as you're willing to put the effort, anything's accomplishable.
No, mate, bloody brilliant. Really, very impressed. But good talk. So as always, it's my privilege to give the certificate out. You can put that on your wall with all your other awards and everything.
I absolutely will. I appreciate this, and this means a lot to me coming from you and the club.
Mate, fantastic. Okay, so really good. So listen, once again, Expat Club, we're finished. Fantastic speakers, a lot of interesting people. It's well worth coming along for the camaraderie, the breakfast, the general atmosphere. We also share lots of information for the expat clubs, which is important. So add that, come and join us every Tuesday. See you then.